everybody, it's Dr. Joe, and today I'm going to show you my top 5 ways to prevent leg fatigue. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. Dun 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 dun. Like my socks? I'll tell you about those later. So the top 5 ways to prevent leg fatigue. This can be if you stand up at work a lot all day, if you're a runner, if you just move a lot. These are going to be some simple stretches, some simple treatments to do that you don't even have to get on the floor. So if you're walking around a lot and you don't have a lot of time to take a break, you can do these pretty easily. So the first one is just going to be a quad stretch. The quad is up in here, and it works a lot while you're moving throughout the day. And so when those muscles get tired, they get fatigued, and then your whole legs get tired and fatigued. So a really easy stretch to do is make sure you have a countertop or a chair, something sturdy to balance on, because you want to focus on the stretch. So if you have enough flexibility, just grab your foot behind you. And if you don't, you can use like a chair behind you and just prop it up as well. But grab that foot, and the key with this is to keep the top part of your leg straight down. So it's not stretching like this, because that's not really going to stretch the quad. You want to bring it down. And if you need more of a stretch, you can even bring it back just a little bit, and that'll help get your hip flexors as well. So since this is a stretch, you want to hold that for 30 seconds. And if your legs get tired throughout the day, you probably want to stretch both sides. So after you do the 30 seconds, I like to alternate back and forth just to give that other side a little break in between. So do that 3 times on each side to get those quads nice and loosened up. So the next stretch is going to be for the adductors on the inside. And again, those get fatigued pretty quickly, especially when you're running and that kind of stuff. They get tired out. So again, stretching those out are a great way to help prevent that fatigue, to prevent that lactic buildup, that lactic acid buildup in there. So another really easy way to stretch those out without having to get down on the floor or sit down or something like that is just spread your feet out a little bit past your shoulder height. It doesn't have to be super far, but you're just going to bend one knee and lean over to the side, which will be stretching this side, those adductors, the groins, those inner thigh muscles. So again, this is going to be a 30-second stretch. If you need something to hold on to, again, you can, and you can turn facing it if you want to. And then after you stretch that side, then you're going to come back and stretch the other way. The more upright you can get, the better, because again, if you're more upright, that will help stretch that hip flexor out a little bit as well, which is one that you also want to stretch. So if you come and push that hip out while you're stretching, you're going to get your adductors and your hip flexor as well. But if you don't really need to stretch that part, you can bend over a little bit, but I like having those combination stretches because it's really nice. Another great way to prevent leg fatigue is compression socks. And the folks at Socks Lane sent me their compression socks. And as you can see here, these are the below the knee ones. I love compression socks, especially when I go running. I used to run without compression socks, and then I'd really kind of get that verge of I'm about to get shin splints, I'm about to get some plantar fasciitis. My legs are really, really tired. And what compression socks do is they help prevent that fatigue because they help those muscles increase that circulation. So if you're up all day and your feet start to get swollen a little bit, sometimes people have their feet nice and swollen, and you can push on it and it'll make a little finger indentation, and that means that blood is just going down, it's following gravity, and it's having a really hard time to work back up to your system. So compression socks help give that compression. I call it a little hug. There's different amounts of pressure. Some are really light. This is a 15 to 20, but they go all the way up to 30, 40, and so on. So I really, really like compression socks. They're great to use. Again, they're great to use when you're running. They're great to use when you're just standing up on your feet all day. If you are pregnant and you have the swelling feet, these also do a great job for that too. So if you're interested in purchasing any of the compression socks from Socks Lane in the fun designs or just regular colors, go ahead and click on the link up here. The fourth treatment is going to be a hamstring stretch. So with the hamstring stretches, you just want to prop out your heel like this, keep your hips forward this way, and lean, keeping your back straight. So I'll do it this way so you can see. But you don't want to curl your back and try and touch your toes, because then you're not really getting a good stretch in your hamstrings. Try and keep that back straight and just lean forward at the hips. So I'm getting more of a stretch here versus if I curled my back and tried to touch my toes. So you don't have to touch your toes. But again, this is a stretch where you want to hold it for 30 seconds and then do it 3 times on each side. So just kind of propping it out in front of you and doing this way. If this is not super comfortable or if you feel off balance, if you have something like a chair, you can prop it up in the chair as well and then just stretch forward. People like this one a little bit better sometimes, so it's kind of up to you. And then the last stretch I'm going to do on a step. The last stretch is going to be for your calves and your feet. The best way to do this is to use a step or a curb, something that you can kind of step up on. If you have some balance issues, make sure you have something sturdy to hold on to or some rails if you have a step. But you're just going to step up on the step and put the ball of your foot right on the edge here. Then drop your heel down, and that's going to stretch your calf area. It's going to stretch the bottom of your foot. So if you have some fatigue in that area, it's really going to help stretch it out and make it feel a lot better. So holding it for 30 seconds and then switching sides. If you feel really balanced and if you have shoes on, you can do both at the same time if you want to, but make sure that you're not slipping off of that step. So if you feel a little unstable, you can do one at a time, but if you feel pretty good, you can stretch them both at a time. So 30 seconds, 3 times. Those were your top 5 ways to prevent leg fatigue. If you're interested in purchasing the socks, Lane's compression socks, make sure you click up here and don't forget to subscribe by clicking down here. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.